Hello, Capricorn. Welcome back to Nature's Galaxy. I'm your host and talkative friend, Luna. Thank you so much for stopping by and trusting me with your cards. It's been a while, but I'm back for the time being. Listen to your requests energetically and just also heard it from other people where it's just like, I don't want to know right now. Okay. Gotcha. But now I feel the call to make a video again for you guys. All right. So I'm going to pull 3 cards from the index, starting off pretty light. I got the cats over here, and then I have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Get a few questions about love, and, we'll continue about our journey. All right. First card out. Plan your next move or travel. All right, slowing down when necessary, understanding delay, but as well for others of you, if you don't understand that, the next card out was shame, denial, guilt. I would rather understand the delays than just stay in that energy. Wouldn't you agree? All right. Next and last card, we have good fortune, good luck. Bottom of the deck, I forgot who else had good fortune, good luck. We have watch your steps / actions. Okay. Feeling out of sync still for the Capricorn energy, but that's okay. That is all right. There's a card that also wasn't turned around correctly in the deck. It was the Lovers. It was trying to come out in reverse, but if it comes out again, okay. But I'm putting it back. So, plan your next move, travel. So what's this about? Cats, can you please inform the Capricorns what they need to know? A few different messages. Let's plan your next move. Two cards. Okay, I pulled at random. We have the Lovers and the Knight of Wands. So you guys heard me do it, but something said to pull from 2 different parts of the tarot. Here we go. The Lovers, the Knight of Wands. So Gemini energy is heavy for this reading. You have Gemini in your chart, or y'all are dealing with some Geminis, some 3rd house placement people. All right. So let's get some more clarifiers because I don't want to skip over into romance just yet. I'll use it specifically for this deck right next to me. And then we have the World. So you are completing a cycle here. Something in terms of education, or you're pursuing more education, but it's the end of how you used to look at things. I think it's also the acceptance that things have to move on, that you have watched your step carefully. You're being given different visions. You're having new conversations with people to help move this stagnation along, especially if you have any Aquarius placements. There's something that has been stuck in the past for a while, or it's just this consistent exposure therapy. I'm just saying that, but there's certain things that have just been so repetitive that now you're bored. You have run out of energy for certain things. Or if this has anything to do with love, you have run out of a certain level of love for something. This could have happened years ago when it comes down to any unrequited love story. For others of you, if you did have a lover pass away, I feel as though, you do feel a push towards true love now and going straight for that and accepting nothing less. So the World card says that this person is going to be coming in, But at the same time, with this Knight of Wands energy, you just don't see it coming. You're off doing what you need to do. So you will have messages moving forward in terms of that specifically with the plan your next move. So that comes through as something that's very spiritual for you. That, just putting it out there for some of you. Some of you are ready to move on, especially if you have children. Let's go over to the Tarot of Sexual Magic to get some extra clarifiers. For others of you, when it comes down to the world, there's something about being online helping you travel, or you're trying to ask for extra help when it comes down to people online. You are wondering how people have so much magnetism. It's energy work for sure. But where you are, it almost seems like it's one of the many dimensions that you're tapping into now, but that part of you that is evolved is still a Knight of Wands energy, especially if you have fire placements, stelliums, so on and so forth. All right. Plan your next move. What's going on with love? Okay, 2 cards. The 10 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. I'm going to hold it back here so I don't get flagged. But anyway, in terms of the 5 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, some of you have been stuck in some unrequited love energy or holding some shame, denial, guilt, anger, honestly, is also what's coming through with the fire energy, impulsivity. Regardless, when it comes down to this fiery energy, there's also something within you in terms of your brain chemistry that also won't let the situation go if you have been cheated on. But I do feel like you are healing from this. There's something that has to give. We have the 10 of Wands here. So in the 5 of Wands, it's like one person looking at these people in the back. And then 10 of Wands is just 2 people here. So instead of questioning, having this internal conflict with yourself, now you are coming into a different state of love. Okay. With the Lover's energy here, the World energy. Definitely dealing with a fire sign, or you have fire placements. At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands. And then we also have the Sun. So Leo, Gemini's here again with the Lovers. Okay. So definitely dealing with the Gemini placement, definitely dealing with the Leo placement. But fire for sure is coming through. Okay. And I shuffled it again, 7 of Wands. So dealing with a lot of impulsive actions, consequences, or just, again, you are tired of racking your brain with certain things. So for some time now, for some of you, your head and your heart are on 2 different playing fields. Your mind, your soul, your body on 3 different playing fields. Energy is scattered, has been scattered with the 5 energy. But now that certain things have doubled in order for you to see different perspectives in this Gemini 3rd house energy, the Knight of Wands here is showing you a restart, especially if you have fire placements. Continuing to be risky when you can feel the right answer still needs to be deliberated on with the 3rd house energy present, with the Gemini energy present. Okay. Anything else from the cats in this energy? We have the Ace of Pentacles. So some of you are moving for work. Some of you feel like you'll have more abundance with where you're living or where you're moving, where you're trying to live. It's almost like I'm speaking like you're already there. So some of you, if you have already moved, you're coming into 3rd house energy. People want to know you. You want to know them. The community wants to connect. Now, if there has been some bruteness from the Knight of Wands energy, just different true good or lawful good characters in your life, just they're doing too much. I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles, everyone is beginning the new ideas of a clean slate when it comes down to the world. This could also have something to do with online politics as well. For some of you, if you are and have been an advocate for certain things, there are different things now being discussed. It feels like it might be behind closed doors, but part of me also wants to say some of you just don't know certain people in order for you to know when to go to certain meetings. But the Ace of Pentacles says that there are meetings that are being held. If you value something, you are welcome to join. You are welcome to be here with this hand here. So, new connections when it comes down to networking is going to be very important with a move coming up. There's something about the reflection and truth and what actually is going to fulfill you emotionally. What actually might fulfill you emotionally is this retrograde action that is trying to transpire in your life right now. There's a lot of planets that are retrograde. Your planet is retrograde. It's going back into Pisces. Pisces is like, before you go. Before you go. I made a song for you. Before you go. I made a bouquet of flowers for you. Before you go. Saturn's so strict, but as soon as it reaches like Pisces energy, it's just like, I'm still strict, I'm still stern, I'm still an old planet. Pisces is just like, that's cute, but can I draw like a mustache on you? Can I draw like a top hat? Do you need like a cane, old man? So just to keep that in mind before you get haughty with certain things. It's not to say that you won't need that energy for later on, but you're going to need it for later on. You don't necessarily need it now. So we have shame, denial, guilt for the next card out. So what's going on here? The Tower. Boom. Well, this was a concerted effort. It's important to say this was a group effort. Outside of your hands, generational, who cares? It has brought you shame, denial, guilt to some extent. Two of Wands here. It's best for you to focus on what is going to nourish you at this point in time. Put on your air mask first, even though you may feel the urge to help other people, or maybe there was something in terms of somebody telling you or you seeing something online or being exposed to the truth about reality, again, being harsh. There's something that's coming back around from Saturn, the clock master, the jack of all trades type of energy, but it's more structured around time. Either way, something's coming back around in terms of time where you can reset certain cycles again. We love that. We changing the narrative, not what happened. Can't change that, but the narrative and where you can go moving forward, or what the universe is also, opening the door with, there's still like this opening here. There's still this door. So nourish yourself before you move forward. For others of you, Ten of Swords, Hangman, you didn't see a passing coming. Okay. If this has something to do with money, shared assets, the cats see what's been going on. You have been in a split mind about certain things. You have been in confliction. You have been in tears. You have been anxious. But all of that aside, the cards are still saying nurturing yourself, making sure what you eat is good for you so you can have the energy to take care of this is what's going to also help you rebuild. If you don't eat certain things that are good for you, you're not going to have the energy to really combat this. So the cats are very much like, be careful with what you eat so you can take care of this stuff efficiently or the best you can. You know, when you walk into work sometimes and they're just like, how you doing? And you just say, I'm here. We here today. 3 of Cups. Yeah, you got to get rid of certain things. Goodbye. But it feels like in terms of what you eat, what you consume may also be a better way to put it. There's a lot of things that are out of your hands that are overwhelming you, but what you can control is what's good for you. Watch your steps/actions. And if you have been eating better, I do feel like you still see all of this mess here. But then, of course, 2 of Wands, you know, it's one day at a time type energy. One day at a time, which makes me also feel like, you know, again, with the love cards here, your brain is also trying to find a distraction from all of this messiness. Still dealing with the fire sign. And this is you, Queen of Pentacles. So I have the 3 of Wands. I can show this card. Hot, steamy, beautiful conversations leading into just something so fiery, so true, so passionate, so genuine. Who cares? Throw the rest out the window. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles right here. She's topless. Can't really show the cards like that. But when it comes to, you know, Queen of Pentacles, that's your energy. So in terms of romance, for some of you, it's like you have turned off that romance. If they are a fire sign, they're trying to get you out of your head as much as you can. If this has been a cheating situation, you feel disgusted by this fire sign. You're just like, just get away from me. Or I feel like if you also helped a fire sign cheat, you still just don't feel right about it. There's something that came back around where you're just like, this is disgusting. Why did I do this? To each their own. In terms of, again, you being the Queen of Pentacles, looking into the 3 of Wands, some of you are reimagining how you can bring passion into your connection again. But I do feel like this 10 of Swords, Tower card, Hangman energy, it's just keeping you from wanting to connect to your partner. Now, could they be the reason why some of this is here? It looks like yes. You know, Pentacles energy is about this slow, steady moving forward. And again, fire energy is about, you know, being impulsive. It's definitely about passion. But, you know, the shadow energy of it is that it's impulsive. Now, can you really blame their instincts? No. Just like with earth sign instincts, it's to move slow. But the consequences are the consequences. And it brings the Tower, the 10 of Swords, and the Hanged Man energy. And the best you can do in the situation is to, again, watch what you consume. I think some of you are still also trying to get over some esteem issues from a cheating situation. Now, how do you feel better? I think some of you have been trying to control your food intake, what you eat, or some of you have felt and have seen different people and their eating habits, and you wanted to change your luck. You wanted to change your steps moving forward because of this. Now, it is a step in the right direction, but now you're noticing, okay, now that for some of the eating habits that you have changed, what's next almost in terms of, you know, the passion returning? I also feel like it's almost like a warning of like, break codependency. Even though for some of you, Hanged Man energy, you could have been single for a long time or have been single for a while. No tea, no judgment. It's still giving like you need to work on some codependency issues. 2 seconds. Message. It's like somebody gets really mad over the potential of somebody's unchecked toxic habits. All right. Of course, of course. All right, last card, we have Good Fortune, Luck. All right. Wheel of Fortune. 2 Wheel of Fortune cards here. So there's something that is completely out of your control. Something that happens for the betterment of you. I also feel like for some of you, if you have been waiting on certain things to come through, they do. Or you have reached the end of certain projects and they will turn out fabulously. Okay. maybe it's also like the end of the road for like certain connections. Not to say like they'll dissipate or anything like that, but I do feel as though, you know, the end of a book, the end of a chapter, the end of an era. As soon as Pluto touches into Capricorn again, it goes direct. But until then, it's the last hurrah almost. We have the Page of Wands, the Two of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and then the Empress. So I do feel like it may be the end of a marriage for some of you. That's just what I'm getting. Not putting that on anybody, but it does feel like it's the end of something for some of you with the Empress card here. All right. Two of Swords energy. Somebody may be clinging on to you, not wanting to let you go, or this is an amicable separation. It's time for you to be around your friendships again. I do feel like for some of you, something has altered how you see relationships. So it's definitely time for you to find your way back into alignment. With the Two of Swords here, you just don't want to be of two minds and stagnation anymore. You want to redo your skills. Seven of Pentacles. You may want to view what the divine has for you coming up through your healed version and your highest version. The Seven of Pentacles here is something where it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming for you to, I could feel my solar plex for a second. So there is like a level up to some degree. I love the Seven of I understand some people do not like the Seven of Pentacles, but I like the Seven of Pentacles because there is magic, there is structure in the mundane, there is structure when it comes down to knowing what to do in love. I do feel like there's some spying here. The cards that fell out is the Knave of Swords, the King of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and then the Three of Swords. So you may be at the point in time going through a separation, but again, bottom of the deck we have the Empress with a big snake in the background. I'm not sure why that's important, whether it's a guardian or there's like this fierceness when it comes down to your subconscious for some of you. You're able to almost like take down monsters. You're able to see things for what they are. You're able to see what type of snake is sizing certain people, situations you up. I'm not trying to say that in like any type of derogatory way, but there's something in terms of like something turning against you, okay? But it's like you still have this courage and fearlessness within you. But a lot of that is also going to be healed in the mundane and in the quiet and slowing down, making decisive decisions for yourself. Not so much getting back out there, but enjoying time with your family and friends. I think you're also making a habit when it comes down to building relationships and connections coming up. Yes, you can apply this to Capricorn placements. It doesn't have to be in the big three. Okay. For others of you, if you are going back and you do feel remorseful because somebody else was being very truthful with you, with this Empress card, someone was being very truthful with how they saw life going. And if you were one of those people where it's just like, I don't know, maybe you also turned on them where like you didn't believe in their full potential to some degree, or you just didn't believe them, something about that. The tables turn. The tables finally turn because they have to. And it's healthy. There's something very healthy about it with the Page of Wands here, where it's like, just accept this good fortune, this good luck. Accept what is your own, accept your own path, accept this loving journey. Okay, that may be very irritating for some of you to hear, but I feel like you might have like Libra placements if you hear that, because I'm not speaking for all Libras, but certain degrees, certain planetary placements, certain things that line up in the 7th house or just in Libra energy. Libra energy wants to be in that connection. They want to be in a relationship. They want to be in a marriage. So again, it's not all Libras, but if there is some agitation there, the Libra within your chart needs to understand, it needs to be heard, honestly, that it wants to be in these connections. But the downside when it comes down to Libra is they don't necessarily always pick who they know would be better for them. Sometimes Libra will just jump into a connection. But I'm not trying to say that in like a negative sense, because now I can feel this tug of a back and forth, but there's some Libra energies where, I don't know, I just kind of throw my hands up with that energy myself, where it's like, I'm not going back and forth. I don't know. I'm not going to go back and forth about it. I may be a Libra sun, but I do not relate to all Libra energy. That is not the way I'm built. So that whole back and forth thing that some Libras do once they're in a relationship, once like they're ready to sink their teeth in, like they have the fire of a fire sign, they're ready to sink their teeth into something, but it's just like, you know, like when an animal or like a pet or something, they start chewing on something, but it may not be good for them. It's kind of like that energy, which is why, again, I'm not going back and forth. No, I'm not trying to relate people to animals, but to give a clear vision of what I'm talking about for some people who seem like, you know, what I'm saying is kind of like flying over their head. I get it. Visual learners, you need something visual. I get it. There's your example. Does that mean that you should also apply people to animals? That is othering. We don't do that. I'm putting it out there, calling it out for what it is. And I mean that in like if someone's being bigoted, okay? I'm just making it clear. All right, next we have the 2 of Cups. I can't really show it because she is topless, but the 2 of Cups here. So some of you, if you are into a hot fling or something like that, looks like there's another earth sign, a water sign that could be down. This could also be one of their Venus signs. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, wherever it is in their chart, but it's either in their big 3 or their Venus sign, the same with the earth sign. So it could be another Capricorn, a Taurus, a Virgo, and or their Venus sign is what I'm getting. There's structure here, which is a little surprising but there is structure here. When looking at it separately, it's just like, okay, yeah, there's like no way. But if it's built correctly, it has a fighting chance, you know, this love energy here. But watch your steps, watch your actions. Make sure you're not building on falsehoods in terms of your true connection with other people, which means, of course, you're going to feel more elated when you're under some sort of substance, whether it's drinking, whether it's getting high to whatever degree. I don't know what you people are into. I have no clue. And some of you already know this, and it's hard for you on the other end for you to relate to some of these lovers, because it's just like, I don't really do that. I don't really do all of that stuff. So now it's just, of course, finding someone who is equally yoked, someone who is equally as passionate as you. I don't really get something spiritual here so much, so make sure that's also on your list of what you want, what you need, what your soul needs, unless, you know instinctively somewhere that you still need a lesson or 2 or 7, however this timeline really goes about. Because I understand, especially if you have like Sagittarius energy as well, there's something in you, the consciousness, like the deep, profound, already planted into your mind. 9th house Sagittarius placements of, I feel like this person is my karma because of this. I feel like this person is in my life to teach me this. So for some of you, you already, plugged in where it's just like, oh, I have to go through 2 more lovers for me to understand self-worth, self-love, to get rid of codependency, so on and so forth. Okay. And I'm not trying to talk a Sagittarius out of a moving bullet. Okay. We're not gonna do that. So, of course, along your journey, you don't want to get stuck in the 10 of Swords. You don't want to get stuck in the Tower. You don't want to get stuck in the Hanged Man energy. So again, making sure you're playing your cards safely, of course. Have fun, of course. But understand genuine love is also at the heart of this as well. First on the list. First. I feel like I need to pull one more card. So again, yeah, here we have indulgence, intoxication, medicine, and hedonism. Be careful with wanting to overstimulate yourself. Or if you have been overstimulated due to your job and different things like that, it's been hard for you to connect because you want to be cozy, but people want to be cozy and non-committal, and that's boring. So boring. If you're single, you will understand. So mom, sister, aunt, woman, matriarch. You're definitely trying to find someone who has the passion. I also think a lot of you are trying to find a partner who's not an alcoholic or has the tendencies to fall into addiction. This is something you're really trying to like fall out of sync with in whatever means necessary and whatever means possible. There's something following you right now, ladies, where it's just like, even if you're a lesbian, where it's just like, I don't want to attract an alcoholic. I don't want to attract somebody with those tendencies. I know I have been there. Or again, it comes back to that 9th house energy where it's just like, certain things. You can't always explain it to certain people, and you just want people to hop on the train tracks while the train is moving for them to understand, which is why some people don't jump on the train track, because they're just like, that's all you, boo-boo. that is, don't even worry about me. I am worried about you type stuff. But, or this is how you're feeling with other people, where it's just like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. And if you're single, it's just like, that's how some people are feeling right now. We're like, if you are a manifesting generator, if you're a generator in human design, this is your blind spot right now. So if that's the case, detox and rethink. You don't have to make a decision right now. It may feel lonely, but there's too many masks around. What you need to do is study. Yeah, so not in the cards. There are some lovers around you where it's not in the cards. You need to see their intoxication for what it is. Or like the ancestors are coming through and they're just like, my baby is not going to get trapped in this. Whoever these ancestors are, the elders, so whether they're alive or have passed on, there's something in terms of your bloodline that wants to be cleansed of this. What I'm getting is alcoholism though, because we have the hot tea, coffee, hot water, cocoa, whiskey, scotch mixed card right here. Something, and it came out in reverse. So then I'm looking at the whiskey and scotch while I'm also looking at the indulgence, intoxication, medicine, and hedonism card. For some of you, if you are in a connection, already. You've already jumped the gun, and you have now seen that somebody is turning to the bottle a little bit more. I do feel like they're fearful about losing you. Sister is involved somehow. I'm not sure, but I'm looking at the word sister. My eyes are drawn to it. I don't know what about that, but either way, somebody's sister is involved somehow, some way. But this drinking situation, you don't need to prove yourself to this person. First and foremost, especially if things have escalated recently, you don't have to prove yourself. Prove yourself for what? Oh, they call you dumb. Oh, they call you this and that and this and that. Nobody's fucking perfect. Nobody's perfect. God did not make one person on this earth, the goddess-like energy